Good morning, and thank you for joining us for SBB Live. I am your host and the publisher of Seniors Blue Book, Amanda Barton, and I am delighted today to be joined with two members of the Alzheimer's Association of Southwest Florida, Kathy Heldman and Amy Schenk. How are we doing today, ladies?
Great, thanks, Amanda.
Awesome, Amanda. Thank you.
Perfect. I know we have a lot to go over today, so we're going to start with Kathy. Kathy, tell us what is going on with the walks specifically.
Awesome. So we have been working, the Alzheimer's Association never sleeps. So I think like everyone, we've been working in our own little virtual environments, lots of Zoom, lots of Google Hangouts, to connect with our committees, to connect with our sponsors, to connect with our walk teams and our walk participants. Been doing a lot of outreach, checking in on people, making sure that they know we're here 24/7. Amy will talk about the amazing programs and services that we have in virtual delivery. We want to make sure that all of our constituents who need support during these challenging times can get that support. And so a lot of what we've been doing is outreach. We've also been reaching out to our teams. And so we have our teams registering now. It helps us slowly build momentum for the walk. And so if you are all out there, and if you have a moment, get on the website and register your team. Our walks are still on, so we're really excited about that. We have Charlotte, the Charlotte Walk on October 3rd. We have the Lee Walk on October 24th. And we have the Collier Walk on November 14th.
That's fantastic. Thank you for that update, Kathy. And it's awesome that we're still moving forward with that. And I know that we can definitely continue to connect virtually until we can all be in one place and do it safely. Yes. All right, Amy, you are the education extraordinaire for the Alzheimer's Association. So talk to us about some of the virtual education that you have coming our way.
Well, thank you, Amanda. You kind of built me up there. One of the things that we knew when we were faced with this new environment is that we were going to have to adapt because Alzheimer's isn't stopping for COVID-19. We need to adapt and come up with some ways that we can still get education and support and resources to our caregivers. So what we were able to do actually quickly was we converted all of our support groups that had traditionally been held in person to telephone groups, because we know during this time, it's hard to be a caregiver anytime, but with this added level of stress and anxiety, we knew we needed to be there. We also said, look, let's continue our education. And we have two different types of education. And what I mean by that is we have some general community education programs that quite frankly, everybody can benefit from. And if anybody has a little bit of extra time on their hands, we invite you and encourage you to take any and all of our classes. And in addition to some of our more general education programs, we have some caregiver specific topics focusing on some of the challenges that our caregivers face with their individual loved ones. So we're doing programming. Actually, we're doing a lot of programming. And the best way to register for a program would be to contact our 800 number. And I'm going to touch on our 800 number in just a second. Our line is always there. And at a time like this, talking to someone who understands what you're dealing with. Our helpline is staffed by dementia experts. And so for a question, for a concern, to find out if there is a support group that's going on, or has your support group gone to telephonic, or to find a program in your area, all you need to do is call the helpline. So the helpline is truly a one-stop shop. And I think one of the things that I know is hard for caregivers is that our daily routines, all of our daily routines have changed dramatically. And if you think of how difficult that's probably been just for us to get accustomed to, imagine how hard it is for our loved ones, the loved ones who have Alzheimer's and dementia, because routine is so important. So caregivers may need a few extra tools in their toolbox. So our 800 number is always available. And I think what we really want, we want people to know that we're here for them. We want to know that we're a phone call away, and it is as easy as that. So We've been very blessed to be able to turn our programming into virtual programming a little bit quicker than I think even we thought we could do. But we're always here and always available. And we appreciate having this opportunity to talk with you, Amina, to talk a little bit about the support and resources that we have. But I know you're also doing the same thing with so many of our colleagues and partners in the community. So thank you for doing that.
Absolutely. Thank you. I will say that technology is an amazing thing, and we've all adapted quite quickly. So it shows you how much we can do when we can't, purposely be together in the same room, but, we're only a screen away, which is so amazing. Now, I know that you have some tips for caregivers. So can you share some of your final thoughts with us, Amy?
Absolutely. And I think if I could give you a million tips, but why don't we just focus on some things that I think not only have applicability for our caregivers, but I think, we can all take this to heart. And the first thing is give yourself grace and give the people you're working with, whether if you're a caregiver, a colleague, give yourself grace. We're doing the best we can in this environment. We've never been on this path before, so grace comes first. I think the second thing that I always like to think about is, as a caregiver, you always think, oh gosh, I could have done that better, or oh, I wish I would have done this differently. You know what? If you're a caregiver and you are caring for your loved one from your heart, you're doing the best that you can do. There's not a gold medal for the very best caregiver award. There isn't. If you're a caregiver, you already deserve a gold medal. So recognize that you're doing the best you can in a situation that none of us have ever been in. And sometimes, you know what? You just have to go with the flow and also pick your battles. So again, say, I'm doing the best I can. And you always have another day to try and do better. But remember that grace piece. And I think the last thing I'd say, and I'd say this to all of us, self-care isn't self-indulgence. So it's very easy for us, whether we're a caregiver, whether we're a parent, a friend, we're working, we always put ourselves second. And what we know is that if we don't make those adjustments and give ourselves a little self-care, and it certainly doesn't need to be a spa vacation, because I don't think any of us are going to the spa, but ways that you can take that breath, invest in yourself, slow down a little bit, do something nice for yourself. It's not self-indulgent. Quite frankly, it's critical. And it's critical for us just to kind of go through the situation we're going through right now, but even more important for caregivers.
That's absolutely beautifully said. And I know that there are a lot of support services out there as well for those caregivers that may need some respite. So we appreciate everything that you are doing in the community to educate and continue with the virtual learning. That's so important. Kathy, did you have anything else you want to say about the walk or any events coming up?
I just wanted to say thank you to Seniors Blue Book, as well as all of the other amazing organizations that are out there every day serving our seniors and the most vulnerable among us. I am humbled to see all of that service and feel really fortunate to be a part of the community that we have.
Absolutely. I feel the same way about you. Well, thank you so much for coming on the show today, ladies. It was a pleasure catching up with you. And until we can see each other and give each other big hugs, I'm sending a virtual hug your way.
Yeah, right back at you. Yep.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks. Have a great day.
Thanks.
Bye-bye.